when I go on social media now, I go on TikTok, I hear the pizza parlor theme. When I go on, Twitter, I see Club Penguin memes. When you see all that, what's going through your head in 2025?
Truthfully, I can't really process it. I just sit there going, I keep telling people, I'm excited to see what the Club Penguin players do. My sole mission to make games and why I'm still doing it, it's on the wall endlessly at my studios. We want to make like forever games. We want to impact generations of players. Most people don't know, my mom was a toy maker. She made dolls and stuff. My dad was actually a wooden toy maker. So I was surrounded by world building and toy making and dress up, and my mom would make doll clothing and everything. She actually ran a TV show when I was a kid. She worked for the PBS type network, showing people how to sew and make dolls and stuff like that. She was a seamstress and things. So I was raised non-stop. My brother would come into my room. We'd take over the whole basement and build like entire universes for all our characters and action figures and everything.
The big passion artistically was animation. Just mesmerized with animation as a kid for various reasons, behind the scenes of how animation was made. Like, look at these cells and everything. And then Toy Story comes out and it's like, oh, wow, okay, this is this whole new realm of it. Well, I'm going to work there someday.
The local camp here, Green Bay Bible Camp, wanted to build their website out. And this is where I built Ballistic Biscuit and the different ideas to help promote their camp and different things like that. But what was an interesting takeaway in the meetings with the camp is they said these kids come for a week, get to play and have this great experience with their friends. And then the rest of the year, nothing. They don't get to experience that camp again. And they challenged me with, how can the camp use the internet to engage children year round? And that's where it's really started the nugget of an online camp.
I went to school in two different schools for animation, just locally. Nothing particularly fancy, but that was the goal. And at the first of those schools, one of the other teachers there, who wasn't part of animation but still knew me, said, "Hey, there's this guy. He has an animation company called Rocket Snail." And I thought, well, that's a fun name. And so I animate a little snail, sent that with my resume, and Lance contacted me, almost immediately, which turned out later he didn't read my resume. He just liked the animation. It's like, I want to know that guy.
My dream, so it was a collision course of a couple ideas. At the time, I was also playing Ultima Online. I was playing these combat strategy games for my Advanced Wars, and I was like, I'm going to make this massive multiplayer snowball war game. So, and in my usual design profession, you start with small ideas. So you go, okay, what do I got to build to make sure it actually works? I need to be able to make penguins, walk around on a screen and talk to each other and throw snowballs. And then I've got enough to figure out how this works. So that launched Experimental Penguins in 2000. The Penguin Chat became incredibly popular. I started working more on the Penguin Chat because I said, okay, people want to hang out online.
Did you ever envision the world becoming as big as it did?
No, at that point, no. I was like, oh, I found something interesting. It was more desperately a problem of, well, how do you scale this thing? During the week, I was a lead web designer at New Horizon with Dave. And then Lane came on. Lane was hired up by Dave. And he started curiously wondering about this little penguin thing I was building. And he then challenged me and went, so how fast could you, instead of working on this one day a week, how fast could you build this if you worked on it every day? And I was like, oh, I don't know, maybe 6-9 months I could get this whole thing done. And he's like, okay, let's go talk to Dave. So then we talked to Dave, and then the rest is history. Dave said, yeah, we'll pivot the whole company and build this penguin world. I brought on one of my first employees, Chris Hendricks, Screen Hog. he started helping me with some of the mini games, the clothing items, and all the furniture.
Right at the time when animation school was ending, and I was trying to decide, do I keep living in Kelowna, or do I go where animations, companies are, or something like that? He emails me and says, "Hey, we're, this Penguin World thing we've been doing, we're ramping it up. Do you want to be a part of it?" It's like, yes, please. That sounds like a great thing for a, student to be a part of. So, there I was.
You created the penguin model, my
Yes.
understanding, correct?
I mean, based off of Lance's model, so some of the components that Lance made, I didn't change, so it was kind of a hybrid between him and me. But yeah, I at least refined it. Yeah.
Do you remember the exact moment that it occurred to you that this project that you guys were working on was going to be a really big deal globally?
There were just certain signs that things felt big. Because we go on Miniclip and then we're pretty rapidly part of the top 10 most, the top 10 games on Miniclip, and we hit number one on Miniclip games and we stay there for years. It's like, oh, that's interesting. When I think it took about 9 months to have 1 million penguin accounts, and we had a party at the studio with ice cream cake and there's a penguin on the cake. It's like, wow, 1 million player accounts. That seems big to me. When we started outgrowing our studio and we needed to get more space somewhere, and the moment we enter that space, we almost fill that out. It's like, oh, this is getting big. And then Jon Stewart was hosting an awards show and says at the end of it, I got to get home. My kids have been playing Club Penguin all night. And he didn't even have to explain it. Everyone understood the joke. It's like, oh, okay. All that, right? It wasn't one thing. It was just a building of, wait, we're this big? Oh, we're this big? Oh, we're this big?
And we thought Club Penguin was just going to be a really big demonstration of our world. And then we would charge enterprise customers like, Disney's and whatever. We'll build worlds for them. And we would just rent it. That's the business model, because that's what we did. We did not expect that many kids to show up. That was crazy.
What was the most rewarding part of being a part of the Club Penguin team for you?
I think the most rewarding part is when we have the interchange between what the community wanted to do and what we were thinking we wanted to do overlapping. That was so exciting. When there was one idea over here and then a separate idea over there, and hang on, we can put these two things together. That was special. I remember we went through in painstaking detail around the launch of Parjitsu. We really loved the whole ninja shadow art, right? So that was a myth with the community. It's the shadows are moving, et cetera, et cetera. I'd say some of that was directly the community. They had said, there's a shadow here, so we just animated that shadow, right? But it was super validating for the community because they're I was right, Which felt good.
Oh my. The endless, it's not the fan mail, but it's in the fan mail. The fan mails I get every day, it's basically someone about your age writing me that Club Penguin was a place they went. It inspired their creativity. It got them excited. It gave them it was very optimistic. It was very hopeful. And then they tell about how they're studying such and such, or became a computer person, or did whatever, or you'd put your video together and how it impacted your thinking and how you play, how that early play taught you certain behaviors, and a spark. It lit these sparks. That's just exciting.
The emails, the contact of people that came through when I started going on Twitter so that I was able to talk to fans better, because people wanted to talk to me through Club Penguin, which was not a great interface for having long conversations. The overwhelming gratitude that was generally there. That's the emotional impact sticks with you.
I know that there's all these really amazingly talented, beautiful people that worked on Penguins. There's all these amazingly talented community members like yourself And I feel like I see this drama on the content. It was like the rise and fall of Penguin. I'm like, it's not how Penguin should be remembered. It should be remembered for like all the positive memories people have, right? And those positive memories were community. They were community meetups. Those community meetups filled the gaps for what wasn't actually there. People's memory of Penguin, which is really fascinating to watch. It's like, there really wasn't much there, but you certainly remember like there was a lot there, right?
You guys drove all the ideas. You inspired all of us. We were just sitting there nonstop going, what do we get to create this month that's going to make them all excited? So it was a great pleasure to do it. I love doing it. It was fun. It was exhausting, but it was fun.
If you could say anything on this 20th anniversary here to the community, what would you say?
Oh, thanks for playing. Make something amazing together. Use your inspiration on how you got inspired to go make something amazing together. You don't need us. You guys know what to do.
Oh, I just give them a big thank you. Thank you for playing. Your guys' imagination drove the whole thing.
I would say remember the best moments from Club Penguin, the things that made that a world that you wanted to live in digitally, and bring that into the world that you're living in for real.